and beautiful arts morning to you all. And thank you so much for starting your day the SWAC way. Look at this sunshine all around us. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. Well, why not? God is the master artist, and he has painted a rainbow over our lives. Well, SWAC has come home to 110 West Church Street, the place we started 51 years ago, but we didn't know that when we signed the lease. And Dorothy was right. There's no place like home. We're going to raise flags, cut a ribbon, and celebrate community this morning. And to the glorious sounds of our SWAC CAD project grant recipient, the Salisbury Community Band. So thank you for yes, give them a round of applause. So thank you for your talented band of talented tunes. Let's begin at the beginning. As our current SWAC board president, Dr. Bessie Green, and our SWAC Golden Board member, Nancy Tether, gather the ribbon, and our past SWAC board president, Ernie Matthews, will do the honors, all to the bagpipe sounds, after we finish clapping, the bagpipe sounds of Mickey Justice. So Nancy and Dr. Green and Ernie. Ernie wants to say a few words as well before he cuts.
Well, I am honored to be asked to do the ribbon cutting here, to symbolically open the door to the original home and now the new home of SWAC. The arts community here is lucky to have the enthusiastic work of the Arts Council, both the Maryland State Arts Council and SWAC, in providing grants and scholarships to local talent in our community. We really have a tremendous amount of talent in this community. And so it is my pleasure to cut the ribbon and to welcome you to the new Art Council.
Well, just as Betsy Ross artfully sewed the colors of freedom together, so we stand together to celebrate the freedom of expression, of hope, and of spirit, and in deepest gratitude to our armed forces who protect these precious gifts. As Commander Denny Stinson of the VFW Post 194, and Major Willie, Sergeant Inslee, and Sergeant Glazer of Wounded Warriors in Operation We Care, raise Old Glory to the sounds of the Star-Spangled Banner. Please join us. Stars early light, that so proudly we wave, where the daws of love gleam, whose bright Thank you so much to these fine representations of our military. And as we're lowering the flag just for a moment because we'll be raising another one. So if you could stand guard over the flag there. Thank you so much. Well, you may not know this, Marylanders, but Maryland is an arts leader in the state as the fourth highest funded state in the nation for arts funding at $22.7 million as a result of advocacy efforts by SWAC and other arts organizations and our legislators getting it. And they know that the arts are a role model, and Maryland is a role model for all the other states. Maryland knows that when you support the arts, you support yourselves. Let us salute our beautiful state that is a steadfast friend of the arts as Senior Trooper Alex Edwards of the Maryland State Police and Salisbury Assistant City Administrator Allison Pulcher raise the Maryland flag to the sounds of America the Beautiful. Thank you so much, Allison Pulcher and Senior Trooper Alex Edwards, for helping us with the Maryland flag as Austin brings them back down for the third and final flag. Not nearly as amazing or patriotic or deserving of honor, but we wanted people to know where our building was. So I wanted you to know that SWAC is home to all the colors of the arts: visual, instrumental, vocal, culinary, dance, writing, media, graphic, broadcast, and more. And as we fund, advocate, and promote these arts in schools, organizations, and for individuals, let our banner fly high as a beacon to draw close the arts' dreams and cover the county with color. As Salisbury City Council President Jack Heath and SWAC Board President Dr. Bessie Green raise the SWAC flag, and we sing together with the band, God Bless America. They're saluting.
As they do every time, because the American flag is flying up and down.
I know. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside. Keep going. One night through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless Thank you, President Jack Heath and President Dr. Bessie Green, for raising the SWAC flag. At this time, we have with us one of those legislators who gets it about the arts and who has helped us to become the 4th highest state in arts funding in the nation, Senator Addie Eckhart.
Thank you very much, and I am honored and delighted to be here today on this beautiful morning. It is indeed a beautiful morning, and as one of my colleagues, Delegate Norm Conway, Chairman Norm Conway, who's been a traditional supporter, said God kisses the Eastern Shore first every single morning, so we can be thankful. To our military, God bless you and thank you. To all of our art supporters, to our band, everybody who's engaged in this, this is a glorious day, and it's a wonderful day to actually bring church and arts back together, because I agree too that God is a creator of order, love, grace, and creativity, and each one of us is an artist. And if you aren't demonstrating your artistic ability, then it's in there somewhere, and you'll have an opportunity. God will give you an opportunity to find it, use it, and share it, because that's what it's all about. That's how we learn and grow and make beautiful what we have in front of us. God bless you and thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
What a beautiful, beautiful talk. Thank you, Senator Eckhart. That really hit the nail on the head in every area. And she's not alone. Your legislators around the area, in our area, and even all over the state, like I said, they do get it. But keep talking to them, because there's a lot of places for that money to go, all worthy. But we know that the arts are an economic and academic engine. When people engage in the arts, they eat out in restaurants, they stay in motels, they shop. When students are involved in the arts, they don't ditch school, their grades are higher, their character is built. So you're building tomorrow's leaders and lining your pockets. What's not to love? Well, thank you so much. We have more to come, but for the ceremony here, unless there are any other comments that anyone would like to make, because we're an arts council, we believe in freedom of expression. If you have something you want to say and you're not on the agenda, don't worry, just come on up. But we will be concluding our ceremony out here. The band's going to play a few numbers as we disperse, but it's not over. We would like you all to please come into our new facility and take a tour. We have a performing room in the back. It's small, but it works. And we have renowned Mickey Justice and his son Kagan will be playing music in the back room, performing room. We have renowned Bill Alexander will be tickling the ivories in the lobby. We have some refreshments. Please look at all the offices. Make yourself comfortable and home with us here at SWAC, because we are here to stay. Anyway, thank you all so much for christening our new SWAC home for a bright future. Our slogan this year and going forward is, for 50 years more, give to SWAC, and SWAC gives back. Thank you and God bless. Just look at all the art in this room. Just look at this. Just wait until you hear all the art in this room. Just draw close to your neighbor and discover the art in their heart. The arts, an economic and academic engine producing tomorrow's leaders and lining today's pockets. What's not to love? This room, this day, these changed lives. This is where your money goes. When you support the arts, you support yourselves. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for sharing our joy as we wrap up our 50th year celebration as the first and oldest arts council in the state, with all other 24 arts councils, including the Maryland State Arts Council, patterning themselves after SWAC. So you can literally say that the arts across the state of Maryland started in Salisbury. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. This program is continuous art. We won't wait until you're done eating to start the art. We're going to have it all the way through. So as SWAC Board President Dr. Bessie Green calls the meeting to order, Dr. Green. Let's have lunch arts.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful time so far. This is my official duty at this luncheon. This is our annual luncheon meeting where we have officers who are coming back or leaving and being replaced. So, since this is my official duty, I now call this meeting to order. Thank you.
Okay, well, there are so many people to thank. As outlined on your agenda, I hope you read that bottom print, and that's just the beginning. There are just so many to thank. But for now, let's start by thanking SWAC's new landlord. We are now in partnership, a beautiful, glorious partnership with St. Peter's Episcopal Church. And Rector Reverend David Michaud will deliver the invocation. Reverend?
Welcome everyone to St. Peter's. It's just a delight to be hosting SWAC and hosting this luncheon. A little shameless promotion. If you want to go see our church or want to hear our organ, we're having an organ concert tonight at 7 p.m. and it's free and all are welcome to that. So it's wonderful to be here. And now let me offer a prayer. There's a prayer in our prayer book for church musicians and artists. So I'd like to offer that prayer and then pray, do a grace for lunch. Let us pray. O God, whom saints and angels delight to worship in heaven, be ever present with your servants who seek through art and music to perfect the praises offered by your people on earth, and grant to them even now glimpses of your beauty, and make them worthy at length to behold it unveiled forevermore. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. Dear Lord, we ask you to bless this food to our use and us to your service, keeping us always mindful of the needs of others. Amen.
Amen. It's so exciting, the arts vibe that kind of travels around. If any of you that were here for the flag ceremony this morning, Senator Eckhart spoke, and she spoke about the arts like it just so naturally flowed out, and the same thing just happened. That's the most beautiful prayer. I'd like to get a copy of that. That's lovely. Thank you so much. We'll be having our first performance by a person that cannot be here because he's traveling to Ohio, doing great things with Dr. John Wesley Wright at SU, and it's our Paul S. Hyde Scholarship recipient, Jeremiah Copeland, but he has sent a video. So, Nancy? Yeah.
There's a boat that's leaving soon for New York. Come with me, that's where we belong. Sister, you and me can live that high life in New York. Come with me, there you can't go wrong. Sister, I'll buy you the swellest mansion up on Upper Fifth Avenue, and through Harlem we'll go strutting, we'll go a-strutting, and there'll be nothing too good for you. I'll dress you in silks and satins with the latest Paris styles, and all the there'll be no fretting, just nothing but smiles. Come along with me, that's the place. Don't be a fool, come along, come along. There's a boat that's leaving soon for New York. Come with me, that's where we belong. Sister, that's where we belong. Come on, Bess.
Well, thank you, Jeremiah, out in Ohio. Thank you. He's usually with us, so we appreciate him sending that. SWAC gives all kinds of scholarships. We give scholarships for students going on to higher education, as you just saw with Jeremiah. We also give scholarships for young people aged 16 and under, or groups of young people, and that is to promote and for them to pursue the arts and really keep that spirit alive. If they're interested, we give guitar lessons, piano lessons, dance camp, whatever the need is. And that came about for the Douglas I. Smith Memorial Fund that was created when Dr. Smith, who was our former, we always remember Dr. Smith. So right now we have pianist, SWAC Douglas I. Smith Scholarship recipient, Aaron Welch. Thank you, Aaron. Pretty amazing for young talent, isn't it? We're very blessed. Okay, I wanted to announce earlier too, we have a little bit of change in the program. We did have one scholarship recipient that took very ill this morning, and unfortunately is not going to be with us. I'm sorry to say, Zoe Scheller will not be with us this morning. We're all very disappointed. And we also are going to do a change in the program because of our technical situation here. So we're going to have Molly Saylor, or one of our recipients, perform at a different point. So if you're following along, I just want to clue you in a couple changes there. All right, next, every year we give away the Brent Scholarship and the Hyde Scholarship. And a couple years ago, we created a new scholarship because it's always, I'm always, preaching to the choir, I know, but asking, for more money, because the more money we get in, the more money we can give away. It's a tough call every year in auditions for scholarships, and you have 20 amazing students with amazing talent, and you get to pick 4. You get to pick 3. Whatever it is, you've got the funds for. So, and then the rest leave thinking, oh, I wasn't good enough. That had nothing to do with it. They were totally good enough. So we created something we called SWAC's Choice Blooming Artist, so that we could have some funds left over to award students to let them know they are very wonderful and have great potential, and stretch that out a bit. And we're hoping in the future to even do more. So it's a great new award, and we're very pleased at this time, and I will say this is a first for one of our luncheons. We always have dance and singing. We're going to have a theatrical monologue by SWAC's Choice Blooming Artist Award winner Allison Saylor.
Hi. I'm going to give a little preface because it's not a well-known play at all. My monologue is from Mirror, Mirror by Sarah Treen. And at this point in the play, it's pretty close to the end. And this character, Hoyt, is professing his love to his ex-girlfriend, Libby, when my character, Laurel, comes in, and she's Hoyt's best friend, and they're both kind of cynical and awful. And she tells him that she's in love with him, but she doesn't necessarily want him to love her back. So that's what's going to happen. Look, I don't care anymore. I just want to say it. Hoyt, I love you. And I know you don't love me. I can't take it anymore. Maybe it's your smell. I wake up every morning in a cold sweat. I've completely lost my appetite. I can't focus. I'm totally unproductive. I can do nothing but lie in my bed and stare at the ceiling. I tell myself that you're immature and whiny and annoying, and that you only date social climbing airheads. I tell myself that you kick puppies for fun and nothing works. I still feel like I'm having a heart attack every time you speak to me. But I can't take it anymore. I have to get into college. That's why I need to hear from you, from your own lips, that you and I can never be together. And I need you to be a total jerk about it so I can hate you. And I need you to do it now because I have the SATs in the morning. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Allison. That's the beauty of the arts. It's so fun. There's so many different things we can do. All right, well, at this time, At this time in the program, we have a scholarship award. It's the Herbert D. Brent Scholarship. With the arts, we have visual arts. As I said earlier, all the different arts are represented. Well, a visual artist necessarily can't perform to you today, but they can do amazing other wonderful things in their own genre. So we have an amazing artist with us in our midst. And I'm going to tell you about him, and he will stand. And I also want to point out that the portrait, one of the paintings on your table of the gentleman, this is the work of this artist. Our SWAC Herbert D. Brent Scholarship recipient is Tony Herrera. Tony, would you stand? Let's give Tony a round of applause. And his work is on this first table over here, so please take time before you leave to look at his amazing talent. I point at something that. And be sure to look at past the picture, the painting is on your table, just pass that around so everybody can get a good look at it. And he'll be up here to talk to you if you'd like to say anything about that. What I wanted to tell you about Tony, he's quite amazing. And we had an artist come in that did a critique of all the applicants, and he wrote some words about Tony. I'd like to read those to you. He said, Tony Herrera's artwork is unified by genre, portraitive, and so presents the strongest voice. He is not afraid to overcome his photo sources, which is a great thing if he is to continue to speak out in paint and charcoal. It is especially inspiring to see a young artist be so attentive to background and to use this force in going forward in all of his images. Tony's talents will take him to great places, and I look forward to looking for his name. Thank you, Tony. That critique was given by artist David Bunting. Okay, next we have an instrumentalist in our midst, and this is the SWAC Paul S. Hyde Scholarship recipient, clarinetist John Adams.
So the piece I'm playing today is a little bit different than what you usually hear from a classical clarinet. The piece I'm playing is called 3 Etudes on a Theme of George Gershwin, written by Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey was a British clarinetist. He's still alive today, if I'm not mistaken, and he wrote each one of these 3 different etudes for a different one of his clarinet friends. The one I'm playing today is written for James Gillespie, and it is entitled I Got Rhythm. It's also an unaccompanied clarinet piece, which is what makes it different. So what you hear is what you get. There's nothing else that is supposed to be with it.
Very nice. Thank you, John. And John has grown up at SWAC as well as Allison has and Molly, several here, because he also received the Douglas I. Smith Award when he was younger to continue his lessons, and now he's received the next award to go on to higher education in the arts. So he's one of our grandkids. Okay, he's a SWAC kid. Okay, this is wonderful. Okay, so next we want to have some words, and we always ask a SWAC grant recipient if they would speak to us for a few minutes. And this is going to be about, this is from, Dr. Kel Nagel is Director of Community Players of Salisbury, and they are a SWAC grant operating recipient, CAD operating grant recipient. So he's going to tell us how much the grant has meant to them and tell you about his upcoming production that we're supporting. So Dr. Nagel.
Teresa's really tough. She gave me exactly a minute to, I may take some of Zoe's time. Wish she wasn't sick. Anyway, Megan is going to time me on her cell phone for a minute, just on an airplane. So, okay, so I'm supposed to talk about what it means to be a SWAC grant recipient, how great SWAC is, and plug my show. And I'm not going to let her throw me out before I plug the show, so I'm doing that first. So we are doing The Drowsy Chaperone, which is the greatest musical that nobody ever heard of, according to my friend Dave. But it won a lot of Tonys, and it's a really good show, and it plays the 22nd, 3rd, and 4th. That means it's opening 1 week from tonight. And it is a comedy within a musical. No, it's a musical within a comedy. It's very funny, and it has good songs and dance. So that's out of plugging time. My community players friends all over there, Tom, our president, Megan, and my vice president, Dave Allen, who built an incredible set, along with Bill Sikowski and a whole bunch of other people, and our maven in chief, Ernie Davis, who is sort of retired everything at SWAC. At community players, maven, yes, New Yorkers, you know. Okay, Community Players of Salisbury is very grateful to be a participating organization in SWAC and get an annual operating grant. The money does help us a lot. And we appreciate SWAC's being involved in the entire community, not just the performing arts, not just the visual arts, everything about art SWAC is involved in. And it's really tough for the organization to coordinate between visual and performing, between professionals and amateurs. Is that a minute, Megan? That's over a minute. Yeah, well, I give direction, but I really can't take it. I urge you all to be supporters and members of SWAC. I want you all to come to see our show. We are competing with an audience on the first weekend of summer with the beach, the day, fishing, golf, baseball, all that stuff. It takes a couple hours to be in an air-conditioned auditorium and get entertained. And Teresa says if I talk anymore, I'm not allowed to be a donor anymore, so thank you.
Thank you, Kel. Kel's also been on the board in the past at SWAC and produced a lot of great plays. He's a strong supporter, so we appreciate him and appreciate those kind words. This is a point where we're going to have a switch in the program. So we're going to move ahead and then come back. So I wanted to talk to you about someone in our community. And I swore I'd never do this, but I'm putting on my glasses, so just hush. Okay. It's because I wrote so much. Okay, there was like this whole page, and you know me, it's like more is more. Okay, so, all right, I'd like to tell you about someone in our community. I think you'll recognize this. Well, I'm just going to tell you his name. I know you recognize that. Okay, David Allen. David Allen is in our midst. Would you stand up, David, as you're eating your roll? David, I'm going to tell you, let's first give him a round of applause. And you wouldn't really wait to go through to get him here. We tried to make it a surprise. I don't think we pulled it off or not, but All right, David Allen is our 2017-2018 Community Arts Volunteer Awardee. Well-deserved, long time coming. He's probably earned it 50 years ago when he was a kid. What can you say about the David man who always comes through to save the Arts Day, no matter what? As president of County Arts Agencies of Maryland, I created a slogan I created for our organization was, the arts, no matter what. Not realizing at the time that there was a person in our midst whose creed this already was. In just the few short years that I have seen David's volunteer commitments, excuse me, I lost my place here, volunteer service and action through various arts organizations and for SWAC, astounding is the word for a person who has so many volunteer commitments and such a plethora of talents that it is hard to imagine him even owning a bed or picture him relaxing in front of a TV set.
No, the bed's in the theater.
There you go. I found that my work here is done. Okay, there. Okay, I'm looking at my places. It's so tiny here. Okay. That's because David doesn't agree with the word no to those seeking help in the arts. Instead, he finds a way where there is no way. Besides the 25 years of impressive arts volunteer history, contributing to numerous community events, unfathomable service to the community players of Salisbury as board member, vice president, president, stage manager, set building, lighting, sound, special effects and ticket sales, lighting and stage manager and performer for Eastern Shore Ballet Theater and for the Magi Choral Fund concert, and unlimited production service to schools and community groups. To say that David saved the moving day for SWAC this year is an understatement. When the move of 50 years of SWAC with a staff of 2 became a reality, we stressed, we feared, we prayed, and then we called David. He was referred to as, of course, by our wonderful SWAC grant recipient community players who have also helped SWAC previously with stage labor for our festivals and galas. In 2 of the 6 giant moves, David, with the help of Bill Zalaski, they always tell me to say Bill, what is it?
I can't say it now that you said it that way.
Okay.
Zawalski.
Okay, what he said. Okay, Lee Ward and a truck from Jones and Dryden, they orchestrated the move. For this feat of heroism and for his even more continuous help to the arts community, help that is hidden by his humility. And while a new statue of David may not be carved, SWAC says thank you, David, for living up to your holy and biblical name. Let's hear it for David. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, plug the show, Dave.
I have it written right here. Thank you for supporting the arts. We need it. We all love it. I know I love it. I enjoy doing it, even though there are some weeks that are hell. But that's part of theater, and that's part of the arts. Thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Brenda and I kept trying to get him here by surprise. Did we end up doing it? Not really.
50.
Finally, yesterday on the phone, I said, I can't tell you why you have to come, but if you don't come, everyone in the room will cry. So thank you, David.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're moving along. So lots to cover, lots of fun things. Hope everyone's enjoying this. All right, so now we're going to go to, where am I at? Since I moved it. Okay, we have another visual artist in our room. This is another one of those opportunities for the SWAC's Choice Blooming Artist to highlight an artist and a student that has such potential, and we want to see them continue with their work. So The SWAC's Choice Blooming Artist Award this year in visual art goes to Taylor Smith. Taylor, would you stand? Oh, very good. Very good. Very nice. Taylor's work is on the second table down this way, and you also have a portrait, or excuse me, a painting on your table of the lady, which was appropriate. I asked each of them to pick out a portrait or something that they liked to bring to make the copies. And Tony chose a gentleman, and Taylor chose a woman. So I didn't plan that. So something I didn't control. Can you believe it? Okay. All right. So thank you, Taylor. All right. I want to tell you about Taylor. We also had a critique done on Taylor's work. And this is what they said. Taylor is fearless in her subject matter and approach. Her perspective in capturing images is dynamic and daring. Her renderings are colorful and captivating. Taylor is very confident in her approach, execution, and describing her vision and process. She possesses a great talent and knows exactly which direction she is heading. And that quote, that critique was done by a renowned artist in our midst, Stephanie Conway. So thank you, Taylor. And Taylor will be at the table afterwards too. I hope you can take a minute to stop and look at her work and speak with her about it. So thank you so much for your wonderful work. All right, the next thing in the program is, we always have a performance, try to have a performance by one of our CAD grant project recipients, and this year we have SWAC CAD. CAD means Community Arts Development, project grant recipient, the Salisbury Christian School, and they're going to perform for you. So thank you, Salisbury Christian School.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Polkinghorn, and our school did Les Mis this year, and I performed teen, so I'm singing I Dreamed a Dream.
I dreamed that
the best thing, thank you so much. I think that's the best thing about this luncheon is it allows us to have hope and to see all the arts in our midst. When you think about a school of high school students and some younger taking on Les Mis, that's a very difficult play, and they did a fabulous job, so let's give them a round of applause. Okay, this time I'm going to talk to you for just a few minutes. I know I'm so shy, I have nothing to say, but I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes. But first I want to show you something. So when our 50th year began last year with Mrs. Hogan coming to our luncheon, we wanted to do a little bit more, and that was fabulous. We wanted to have a gala or something, so we sent out a lark and a prayer, and we brought the country legend Crystal Gale to Salisbury. And I don't know how many of you were there, but it was a glorious evening. So for that evening, we made a celebration. We made a video to show the 50 years, just glimpses. We couldn't cover it all, but we did our best. So we'd like to show you, last year's luncheon, the theme was 50 years, 50 Shades of SWAC. So we'd like to show you 50 Shades of SWAC. will tell you a little bit more about the past of the SWAC here in just a moment. As our moving crew takes over. Okay. Well, in the bumpy journey of life, there are those rare ethereal moments. Times when you dream a dream, plant a seed, and then miraculously see it bear fruit. Fruit that we can touch, hear, taste, and see. That leaves us better than before. After years of searching for a new SWAC home, only to arrive back where we started 50 years earlier, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And then the days before this discovery, hiring a SWAC staff person, Stephanie Conway, an incredible artist, who would create a 2018 rendition of our building painted decades ago. So let me just stop there and explain this. So we've been looking for about I've been looking for about 4 years. We've looked at 4 other places to move to. And the place we were in served us well. It was a beautiful arts loft, and many, many great things took place there. But it was time to move. So I kept looking and looking, and finally, on a road trip with Dr. Sharon Clark. Where are you, Dr. Sharon Clark? Right over here. We talked about our needs, and this fell together. She's a leader at St. Peter's Parish, and we talked about this building. So it just, all worked out. So miraculously, we took the building, we signed the lease, and then, after we signed the lease, Nancy Althouse called me and said, "I'm so glad SWAC's going home." I said, "What?" I thought I was having an out-of-body experience. What are you talking about? She said, "This is where SWAC started many years ago." And I thought I was hearing things. I said, no, I just thought she was making it up, but she wasn't. She said, no, SWAC used to be in that building. After she called 2 days later, we found this painting in the back room. This building we're in with the SWAC logo on the front. I don't know about you, I hear some angels. It was pretty amazing stuff. Okay, so it gets even better. So when which I'm going to talk to you about in the speech, but I hired Stephanie Conway. Raise your hand, Stephanie. By the way, Stephanie Conway and Austin and Cameron back here in the back, and our board member Nancy Tether have been outstanding. They've been the crew that has made this thing happen. Let's give them a round of applause. So she's an artist. So finding this discovery, this was a rare ethereal moment, and the succulent fruit is here. Behold the paintings. This is 50 years ago. This is today, and we're in the same building. So I think we've been set up. So that's what I'm going to tell you about. Coming home to gold over the rainbow. As the car turns that last bend in the road, your heart skips. Curling up in the arms of a familiar lover, your heart rests. Laughing with your adult child like you did in the old days, your heart melts. Greeted unexpectedly by a soothing song, your heart hopes. Rebuilding turbulent times with new dreams, your heart loves. And seeing the fruit of your labor, harvesting a field of white, your heart heals. Coming home, coming full circle, reaping and sowing, there is nothing on this earth so magical, so timely, so needed, so earned. As we wind up our 50th anniversary year that began last June, the Salisbury Wicomico Arts Council has come home. When the 50th celebration began in June 2017 luncheon with the First Lady of Maryland, Mrs. Yumi Hogan, as our honored guest, after months of precarious negotiations and uncertainty of her presence until a late date, she walked into the Great Hall with elegance as the Queen of Arts and graced our hearts for an incredible year ahead. When Mrs. Hogan spoke to our deepest needs and shared her art story and assured us of support for the arts from the government head, the fruit of our labors were sweet indeed. In August, I had a dream of our 50th celebration with another lady who would sing songs of love and share with us her fairy tale life in the arts, one who knew firsthand how challenging, yet how life-changing the arts are. From singing on the front porch of a Kentucky cabin to the glittering stages of the world. In November at SWAC's Superstar Gala event with Crystal Gale, her manager husband told me that there were only 2 times in Crystal's 47-year career that a show was requested 3 months in advance with one person producing the event versus 2 years of planning and a committee of 100. He said it was both the times that I had secured her performance. A field of white and a flood of healing. We didn't have any time. We had to do it 3 months, so that's the way to the SWAC. As the first and oldest arts council in Maryland was born on a Salisbury kitchen table, around the kitchen table, not on the kitchen table, in the home of Sue Hess in 1967, the mission unfolded, and the arts faithful have carried it out to brighten lives throughout the state. SWAC creations such as the Salisbury Festival, New Year's Eastern Shore, Dining with the Masters, A Night at the Winery, River City Arts Jam, Church Street Murals, Thanksgiving for the Arts Gala, Instrument Barn, Accent on the Arts, Maryland Summer Center for the Arts, Classics for a Cause, Let's Do Lunch Arts, Fountain of Our Youth, Regional, State, and National Arts Advocacy, the Salisbury Film Society, themed home parties for the arts, artists in residence, artist workshops, TAD, Tourism Arts Downtown Development, Arts and Entertainment Support, Maryland State Arts Council, Salisbury University, Americans for the Arts, Maryland Citizens for the Arts, and National Endowments for the Arts, Sister Cities, Collaboration, and County Arts Agencies of Maryland Leadership. Those are just some of the collaborations. Wycomical Artscape, Artist Registry, SWAC TV shows, Third Friday support, and a plethora of art grants and funds to county organizations, schools, and artists, scholarships have been carefully planted, cultivated, and sown, reaping the 2014 Richard A. Henson Award for Nonprofit Excellence, and the first arts organization to ever win the award. New dreams, new love. Then, after years in an upstairs loft and a difficult search for a new downtown first floor SWAC home, the answer landed on us as softly and as effortlessly as a feather upon sand. The reaping made divine when a holy church became our landlord, and a kind pastor and helpful congregation, our family. The original City Hall building on St. Peter's campus, with years of city stories in its walls, and Salisbury history and ambition as its mortar, was waiting for a tenant of the arts, one who would create, engage community, and thrive in partnership with St. Peter's robust outreach. The perfect marriage of SWAC arts and St. Peter's community, a rite performed when parishioner Dr. Sharon Clark connected the two, leaves both partners giddy with joy. And when on the hour the church bell rings outside my office window, a brush of wings gives me rest. In the midst of 6 moves into our new SWAC dwelling, my staff resigned. She could a great opportunity. I love her to pieces, no problems there. Within 2 days, I conducted 9 interviews in a 12-hour day and night. And the 9th one that I wasn't going to conduct until Nancy and Anissa talked me into it because it was 8 o'clock in the evening, I was very tired, is that you have to see this one. Stephanie Garcia Conway, an incredible talented lady from Teos, New Mexico, walked in. On the wall of New SWAC, a painting of Teos, New Mexico, Teos, I said it right, found in our storage room before we met, hangs on the wall to greet her each morning. An unexpected song, hope. SWAC nesting has been sweet as bookings to host events at our facility have been pouring in, music camps, prestigious art meetings, and within days, we were honored to have our social room christened with a music improv workshop conducted by renowned pianist Jeffrey Chappelle, as he enlightened 20 people and then autographed the piano keys deco art over the doorway. Laughing friends, melting hearts. Finally, the blessings all made sense. When SWAC member Nancy Althouse called to say to me, "I'm so glad SWAC is going home." Upon lease signing, I had no previous knowledge that the Salisbury Wycomical Arts Council had started in this very building 50 years ago. Days later, while packing, we discovered a painting of our new SWAC City Hall, which I told you about earlier, this up here. A building created decades ago with the SWAC logo on the front door. The last bend in the road, skip. Coming home, coming full circle, coming into grace. Click your heels together 3 times and remember how lovely the gold over the rainbow. Thank you. Well, thank you for your attention with that. We're now going to move on to our next recipient. This is another one of the great Douglas I. Smith Scholarship recipients. And this young lady's been with us a few years too, and we'll hopefully raise her as well. So we have with us a dancer. And right here is your area. So we have dancer Douglas I. Smith Scholarship recipient Molly Saylor. Thank you, Molly. And I will add that that was a piece from the Nutcracker, correct?
Yes.
And we, of course, we have Miss Nutcracker in our room, Miss Betty Webster. And Betty, you stand up. call her Ballerina Betty. And she came to us from Washington, D.C. with a renowned career and came to the Eastern Shore, raised her children, founded Eastern Shore Ballet Theater, and is, do you mind if I say, 92? You're 92?
In August.
In August, she'll be 92. But the reason I tell you that is, okay, 92, 3 years before that's 89. She danced at our gala at 89. That's what the arts do for you. So thank you, Betty and Molly. All right, now we have something very special we want to do. I think I'm at the right spot in the agenda. Yep, okay. All right, we want to give a couple more awards away this year. And we usually just give one, but we're going to give two, and I want to combine them. So I'm going to read to you. The 2017 and 2018 Community Arts Appreciation Awards. SWAC Founding and Formative Years Executive Directors are Roy Perdue and Davina Grace Hill. And on your table, there is some part of what I'm going to read to you and then more. We have Roy's story and Davina's memories, so you can take those home with you and learn even more. As our 50th anniversary year was launched in 2017, we awarded the SWAC organization founder, Sue Hess. So as the 50th year completes in 2018, we award the SWAC Founding and Formative Years Executive Directors. Excuse me. Once SWAC had created what is now the Salisbury Festival and produced the successful Arts Festival 80, later becoming Arts on the Plaza, they hired their first executive director, Roy Perdue, who worked without pay. Let me say that again. Worked without pay. Just let that sink in a minute. Okay. To ensure the organization would grow. And who by his diligent service, long hours, and creativity amid a mountain of challenges, caused SWAC to become the role model for other nonprofit organizations and a thriving arts council into the 21st century. Some of Roy's accomplishments for SWAC include, excuse me, relocating the Arts Festival to downtown, creating membership levels of support, writing ArtsBeat in the Daily Times, creating the SWAC database of arts members, funding and our sponsoring Shore Jazz, Baltimore Ballet, Annapolis Brass Quintet, and other concerts, providing educational programs, forming partnerships with businesses and tourism, securing community leaders as board committee chairs, extensive fundraising, securing a SWAC home for free, so you up me, okay. No offense, Father David. Okay, securing a SWAC home for free with no rent or utilities and equipment provided. Creating arts awareness, awakening the community to the profit of the arts, inviting a community calendar, engaging volunteers, and causing SWAC to become a first in many ways, such as events with alcohol in the Civic Center and downtown, a coup he has yet to tell us how he pulled off. This is fun. Roy comments now that when he reads about a $300,000 city budget for arts and entertainment today, he remembers the days of no budget, running extension cords all over the place for events, blowing fuses, managing mammoth festival tasks with a small army of volunteers, convincing merchants for art support and more. And he says, thank you. Thank you, so he says, teasing. Okay, so, and he says, I'm sorry, it's no wonder I don't have any hair on my head. Well, Roy, since today, SWAC only gets $5,000 of that $300,000 you mentioned, I totally feel your pain. It's no wonder that I don't have my own fingernails. Okay, after fulfilling the mission set by SWAC founder Sue Hess and others, and instilling the original framework that would become the Salisbury Chemical Arts Council, and serving as interim director for the Civic Center, Roy continued his successful career by moving on to Peninsula Regional Community Relations, and was later named Director of Alumni Relations and Alumni Annual Fund at Salisbury University. And in 1985, SWAC hired the second executive director, Davina Grace Hill. So a round of applause for Davina. What a thrill this year to have both of them here. Davina just recently moved back, so when I found they were both here, oh, we gotta do this. This is so fun. Okay, Davina brought many gifts of arts leadership to SWAC, from her vast education in the arts with a BA with honors in Communication Arts Theater in 1976, and as a 1981 graduate of the University of Illinois with a master's degree in Community Arts Management. While continuing and growing the foundation set and tasks instituted by Roy, the tireless, generous, and dedicated spirit of the SWAC Executive Director seemed already to be a mandate, as Davina gave to SWAC her heart and soul, and left no stone unturned for the good of the cause. From sponge painting shelving at 3 a.m., furniture that we still use today, that you saw today in our lobby, to tediously setting precedents, boards, bylaws, manuals, management tasks, arts outreach, historical reference, and programs we incorporate today. Many nights, the light in Davina's SWAC office could be seen burning way past the midnight hour. During Davina's reign as executive director, the community enjoyed the amazing and labor-intensive and successful New Year's Eastern Shore celebration of the arts and family for several years, incorporating businesses, volunteers, and attendees, all of whom share fond memories of the event. The creation of Eat Your Arts Out dinner, which later became the successful Dining with the Masters annual event, along with Fountain of Our Youth and Church Street murals, were the evidence of a successful executive director named Davina Grace Hill. Extensive and perfect record keeping at SWAC was a product of Davina's nickname, File o' Files. And to this day causes SWAC to have an off-site storage unit with 8 filing cabinets of historical archives that we had no room for here, but that's something you certainly can't get rid of. In 2018, Davina retired from her 48-year career in community arts management that included national publications on the arts, newspaper columnist, board member of the Maryland Association of Nonprofit Organizations and Ethics Committee co-chair, served on the Governor's Advisory Committee on Careers in the Arts for the Disabled, and grant panelist for the Maryland and the New Jersey State Arts Councils. To Roy and Davina, thank you. Seems a small word, but it encompasses my whole heart and the heart of the Salisbury Chemical Arts Council. Thank you for your dedicated service to SWAC, for creating an outstanding organization that has led the way for arts across the state, and for setting the bar so high that I jump daily to continue your amazing legacies. Thank you, Roy and Davina.
Couple of things I'd like to say. Thank you very much for your applause. Very much appreciated. I know it sounded crazy that I would take a job with no pay. Well, let me tell you, there was a caveat to that, which probably makes you think I'm even crazier. The caveat was, I would take the job with no pay, and I would be paid when I raised the funds to fund the programs and then have enough left over to pay for myself, which I did, thank you very much. But it was not easy, as I say, no wonder. I want to thank Davina and Therese and all the other people who are here today who are keeping the Arts Council going all these years. If I may make one correction, Madam Arts Council Chair, it's 40 years since we're in this building. There was 10 years when it was just a volunteer organization, really without a home. And then I think it was around 1979 or 1980 when because of the city and county offices were in this building. Then they built the city county office building. Then this building became available for the Arts Council, for the museum and the Arts Council office. So it's really 40 years. I know I look old, but I'm not quite as old as she's making me. Thank you very much.
I have gifts for you. We come bearing gifts.
I'm so old, I have to go get my cat.
Yeah, the goodie bags for David and Roy and Davina have all kinds of Salisbury Macomb Arts Council paraphernalia and some nice gift certificates and some lovely wine. So that's there. Please call me if that's out. I'll make sure you get wine. What? True. Okay, well, we have Davina Grace Hill with us, and we're going to give her the mic so she can talk to us a bit about her thoughts.
Thank you. Apologies for not standing up, but I can't. I left here and went to parts in Anne Arundel County and then went to Georgia for a little while and was not happy there. It was not comfortable. It wasn't a good fit. So when I retired, I decided I'm coming home. The theme of the day, I'm coming home. So I came back to Salisbury. And all those boxes that I had packed with art and supplies and my household stuff were now emptying and taking up room. There were so many boxes. And one of the first things I heard when I got here was, SWAC is moving, come help. And I called Teresa and said, no, I'm done moving. But do you need some boxes? So I just kind of loved the idea of coming home, and the first thing I did was help the Arts Council to get myself back involved with the place. It is so nice to see so many friendly, familiar faces, and thank you for the appreciation. It means so much.
Thank you, Davina. That was beautiful. Isn't it something that everything keeps fitting together? Like coming home, and then you mentioned about coming home, and you helped SWAC, and like I said, I think we've been set up. I think there's good stuff governing us. All right, well, you're so patient, and we are almost to the end. But we do have something we'd like to do. We have our scholarship recipients with us, and I'd like to ask Dr. Bessie Green to come forward. We want to officially give them certificates and announce their award again, and take a picture of them. All right. The arts are a gift to our souls that we may achieve gladness in the midst of tedious living. The arts are our entitlement to lift ourselves to higher ground. Salisbury Macomb Arts Council has been lifting us to higher ground for 51 years because we know that when young people have a song in their heart, whether that song is writing, painting, instrumental, drama, dance, vocal, visual, or culinary art, it is a song that stays. The song they take with them into the world and into their adult lives and becomes the balm that sees them through. Salisbury Macomb Arts Council proudly presents to Jonathan Adams. Jonathan, come forward. Yes, thank you. Go ahead, clap. With the Paul S. Hyde Scholarship for the Arts in the amount of $1,000 for artistic talent in the field of clarinet performance. Thank you for all you do for the arts, Jonathan. The Salisbury Macomb Arts Council proudly presents Aaron Welch with the Douglas I. Smith Scholarship for Youth Instruction in the Arts in the amount of $350 for artistic talent in the field of piano performance. Thank you for all you do for the arts. The Salisbury Macomb Arts Council proudly presents to Molly Saylor with the Douglas I. Smith Scholarship for Youth Instruction in the Arts award in the amount of $350 for artistic talent in the field of dance performance. Thank you for all you do for the arts. The
The Salisbury Comical Arts Council proudly presents to Taylor Smith. With the SWAC's Choice Blooming Artist Award in the amount of $800 for the artistic talent in the field of visual arts. Thank you for all you do for the arts. The Salisbury Comical Arts Council proudly presents to Allison Saylor with the SWAC's, yes, it's clap. With the SWAC's Choice Blooming Artist Award, the amount of $600 for the artistic talent in the field of theatrical performance. Thank you for all you do for the arts. The Salisbury Comical Arts, I'm sorry, we'll hold off that one, she's not here. The Salisbury Comical Arts Council proudly presents to Tony Herrera with the Herbert D. Brent Scholarship for the Arts in the amount of $1,000 for artistic talent in the field of visual arts. Thank you for all you do for the arts. And our two recipients that can't be with us today, one from illness and one from travel. The Salisbury Comical Arts Council proudly presents to Zoe Scheller with the Herbert D. Brent Scholarship for the Arts in the amount of $1,000 for artistic talent in the field of vocal performance. So thank you, Zoe, and we hope you feel better soon. The Salisbury Comical Arts Council proudly presents to Jeremiah Copeland, who we saw earlier, with the Paul S. Hyde Scholarship for the Arts in the amount of $1,000 for artistic talent in the field of vocal performance. Thank you, Jeremiah. Safe travels. So at this time, we'd like for all the grant recipients to line up in here in front, and we'd like to take a picture and another round of applause. Then we have our election of officers, and then we're going to be on our way today. Okay, well, our last piece of agenda, well, before we do this, let me say thank you. We will be electing officers and board members. Thank you to Reverend David Michaud, Dr. Sharon Clark, and the St. Peter's Episcopal Church family, Wycomico Presbyterian Church, who allowed us to park free today in their lot, Trinity United Methodist Church, who also allowed us to park free, Sherry Ewing Graphic Design, who created your annual report, VFW Post 194, Maryland State Police, City of Salisbury Administration, SWAC Board and staff, performers, accompanists, grant and scholarship recipients, SWAC awardees and volunteers, PAC 14, Bill Alexander, Mickey and Kagan Justice, Salisbury Community Band, SWAC supporters and members, elected officials, sponsors, and guests for creating an incredible 2018 Let's Do Lunch Arts. Thank you so much. All right, and now we'll have election of officers and the board. SWAC President Dr. Bessie Green.
Okay, have we had a wonderful luncheon, even though it was for business concern, but we had presentations, we had raising the flags, now one under three. Our new facility, which is adorable, if I say so myself. And lots of nice things around today. And I want to thank you as a community for celebrating this special time, coming home. And I want you to give yourselves a round of applause, because without you, we would be not here. So, now, I mentioned it before, this is probably the best meeting of the year, because we eat, and we also have a very short meeting, with not a long list of Therese do and don't and all this kind of stuff. But she's fantastic. I want to thank everyone who participated in getting this program together and this luncheon and all the good things that we've all enjoyed throughout the years and being a special time. It's special thanks from me. And now, as one of my duties, It's election time all over. I voted yesterday. So we have new board members, returning board members, and volunteers who do their duties as they do a terrific job in FY19. So I will read the names that are going to be potentially officers for FY19. There's your slate. For President, Dr. Bessie Green. Vice President, Dr. William Clover. Treasurer, Cindy Downs. Secretary, Kimberly Clark Shaw. The returning directors, Viva Anderson and Nancy Petter. The retiring directors, unfortunately, we have to retire sometime. I do. Lisa Davis and Dennis Bell. Executive Director, of course, Susan Hamilton. Now, I need one of the board members to give a motion to accept the slate of officers for FY19.
I move we accept the slate of officers that were read for FY19.
Can I have a second? Board member? Okay, all right. The motion has presented and second. Everyone who seconded and the ones who objected have a right to object it. Do I hear anything from the floor, board members? Okay, thank you. Hearing none, so it is official. The slate that I have read are now FY19 officers and returning members. Thank you so much for that. Now also too, I need someone to officially give me notification of dismissal. So do I hear someone for that? So I can close the meeting?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, second? Second. Okay, it's been moved and second. That officially, the meeting is adjourned. Now, since it's adjourned, and we are officially, members and friends of SWAC, can leave. However, since I'm still standing here, I want to say a couple words. I won't be very long. We're now coming back to the facility where we started, and this is a wonderful thing. Now, personally, I like to say something each meeting, each time I've done this, how much this has influenced me or helped me throughout the years that I've been president. I mentioned in the past year, I did lose my husband, and because of this family that I have adopted, SWAC, it has given me someone to stand beside me. And also the art that's been in my heart for years, it has come full circle. I am now, after retiring from University of North Eastern Shore, the heart and the love that I have for arts have come full circle. I am now officially an artist, and my professional name is Marie. So I thank Therese and all the members, and all the people, my friends here that stood by me and with me through this journey. And the art not only help those who are, going through these things, to come to the end of that loss, to have something that you can say, thank you for me. So thank you very much.
Bessie, that was beautiful. And I will say that we're at the new facility, we're going to start having swacky happy hour, happy swacky hour. get ready, okay? And our first one is going to be in August, the first Friday, I believe, in August, and we're going to feature designs by Marie, Dr. Green, who just heard some of her beautiful art. We'll have some refreshments and some music, so I hope you get used to making that part of your schedule. I want to also say for our retiring directors, the Salisbury Botanical Arts Council board and staff extend gratitude to Lisa Davis and Dennis McLeod for their time, talent, treasure, enthusiastic support, hard work, and dedication to the arts through their service to SWAC. I wish them every success in future endeavors, and they remain our SWAC family and friends in the arts forever. So thank you, Lisa. All right, you have an amazing audience. It's been a long one, but I hope you felt the whole goal of having Let's Have Lunch Arts is to leave having been inspired by having lunch with the arts. So I hope you're inspired. And remember as you go about your day that for 50 years more, give to SWAC and SWAC gives back. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.